Okay, welcome back to day 5 of week 3. And this is our full stack app week coming to an end. We'll do a little bit more of full stack, a little bit of database stuff next week, and maybe try to get the user stuff going. Um, but we do have tokens. We understand tokens so far. We thumbs up for tokens, and we understand headers. So those are the two big things that we need to get users working. And so keep keep those in mind as you work on your project. But today we're going to finish up our microservice. And I thought we would have, if if you could just share a blocker that you have had and maybe that you're still having, and a something you did and something that you're planning to do. So those 3 questions. What did you do? What are you planning? And what are your blockers? It's really the stand-up questions, and it's a good thing to get in practice with. Um, I happen to have a blocker that I can share with you since I'm kind of in the middle of this project. So let me kind of give a demonstration, and then you all maybe can share a blocker if that's possible. All right, so starting with my blocker. So I've been working on this little widget that lets you write code in here. And when you hit run code, it runs it. Hello, codex. So you'll see down here, it's going to run that. Kind of neat. Or you could do like practice a for loop or something. Um, let's do a little practice for loop here. And if I get rid of this, it'll, whoop, I hit save. There it went. Printed it out here. So kind of neat, right? So I've been working on this. This is what I've been working on. Now my blocker is, um, so I've been working on this, and notice where it is. You see where it is here? I've been experimenting with different AI tools. This is the tool that's free right now. I don't think it's going to be free forever, but this is a pretty amazing uh, little tool. It's just like the Replit thing I was showing you the other day. And in the next few weeks, I'm going to try and teach you how to use this. Um, of course, it's better to make things that you already know how to do, because then you can guide it. But it does stuff that you might not expect. It's really good at making AI. Um, it pushes you towards AI-driven products. But anyway, so what's the problem? Anybody have a guess at what the problem is? You see, this is not the same site that my Boris is on. You see that? Give me a thumbs up if that you see that. So I created this on with Google's tool. Where's the code? Oh, the code is over here. Slightly different. Um, and it's got this code editor thing. So I need to export it and then import it into my other tool. So there's my blocker. Does that make sense?
Kind of like what I was saying about the other platform. If you could export it and import it into another platform, another site.
Yeah, that's my blocker. Trying to export it into another site. So you can you can export it into GitHub. You just click Save to GitHub. But then I tried to use it. I'm trying to package it up as an npm installable module. Let me see. I forget where it is. And I'll show you what it looks like. So when I do that, I did I call it a shoebox. Code shoebox. And I did npm install code shoebox. And I'll show you what it looks like. I think it's okay. So I can just do npm run. So I did npm install the thing that I had, and oh, I can show you. There's actually you can actually install something from it from a GitHub repository. So it's npm install git rmcc there slash code shoot. So if you can actually publish something to your own personal repository and install it in um, another app that you're using. And then it comes up, it looks like this. So instead of an official site, you can actually install any sort of code. And you can actually install code. Uh, you can actually install code that is in another Git repository on your drive or another folder locally. But you have to package it up the right way. So here's what it looks like, where I'm trying to get to. Yeah, looks like that. Great. So it seems to work. And then that kind of works, but any guess about what's wrong? You can help me guess here. Yeah, the CSS is somehow missing. I don't know where it went. And yeah, the CSS is just, there's no CSS. That's what it looks like without CSS. So I have no idea what's wrong. So that's my blocker and my goal for the next, I guess, weekend would be to figure out how to export something. And if I can figure out how to export things uh, from this tool, then I can start using it in other tools. You saw it was costing. This one's like I said, this one's currently free. So aistudio.google.com is the free. It's free now. You can't beat that. Okay, so my questions for you were, what are you working on now? Maybe you could just tell me what level and what's blocking you. And so what are you working on now? What are you planning on working on? Let me rephrase that. What did you work on yesterday? What do you plan to work on today? And what are your blockers, right? What did you work on yesterday? What are you planning to work on today? And what are your blockers? So you could either type them or go ahead and say them. It's better if you say them. So I'll turn off mine. Let's see what's going on. Just raise your hand if you want to just quick little. Okay, Clay.
Wait, let me get rid of the gum. Sorry. Um, Yesterday, what I've been working on yesterday and today is getting my server. I made 10 API dot API 1 through 10 play.oquin.foo on ports 3001 through 3010 so I could run um, different different servers on my server or different apps on my server. And I finally got it working. So
Mm.
that's what I've been working on
That's what you worked on, like maybe today or yesterday.
all day yesterday and all day today.
Hmm. And so you
And
could
I
have 10
finally got it
different
working at,
microservices.
yeah, I finally got it working at 6 o'clock, right on the
Okay.
dot.
So what's your plan for tonight?
Um, I'll let you know. I don't have an answer
Okay.
for that right
Not
now.
not yet.
Not
Um,
yet.
all right. Okay. And if you have a blocker, if you can think of a blocker, type it in. Okay. Anyone else want to give us one? And you could just tell me even like what number you're on and what part of your lesson we're on. Oops. Oh, let me see. Blocker. Oh, level 17. Yeah. Skill level 17 planning. Yeah, the planning, right? And do we know what we're talking about? The level 17, we were talking about that at the end. Um, I added that lesson in there. Trying to find the right day out of an array of days. Not find. Maybe give me a oh the new micro. Okay, good. So Clay's plan is to get the microservice we're working on to work on one of those ports on your server. Let me see. Is Boris? Oh, replit.app. Okay, there we go. And anybody else, I really appreciate it if you. Yeah, and so what's your plan? What's your plan, Ty, for today? Dev, and anybody else would just anybody else wants to let us know what you're doing. Work on it tonight so the user can choose the day. Yeah, and maybe perhaps towards the end of tonight we can go over that again. Let me share that link. Let me share that on here so people know. If you weren't here yesterday, what are we talking about? 17 here. So it's sort of like finding a needle in the haystack. Let's say I have 3 days. I just want to get the temperature for one day. What am I going to do? Well, yeah. Or actually, I'm going to have 15 days. I'm going to have 15 days here. And I only want one day out of it. I want to get, I want to find the index of one of these. That's what we're talking about. I guess we're talking about it now, if you don't mind. Okay, so I want, I want to return I want to return the partly cloudy, or maybe there's a temperature too, right? Um, what would be the temperature down there? Like 45? Would that be okay? Is that about right? I could grab this. Move it over. I want to know the conditions and temperature just of one day. So how would I do that? Well, I would say like const day of event or weather of event, right? Weather of event. This might be a nice way to think about it.
Wait,
Const day of, yeah,
what was the parameter you said you were looking for? The temperature and what?
conditions,
Oh, conditions. Okay.
yeah, temperature, conditions, could be description, or even if you wanted the percentage of precipitation percent, any of those, you just want the object of the weather. You want the weather. So essentially, you just want the weather. Weather of event equals what? And that's the goal. So that's going to be, this is eventually, that's going to be this value. And quick pop quiz, where is this value coming from? Where are these days coming from?
Are you
These.
in Boris or are you on a different screen? Are you in
I'm on Excalibur.
okay. Because we see Boris the professor still.
Oh, thank you. I need a screen share. Thanks for, let's see if I can, oopsie, go stack here. No, go away. Let me get this. Okay. All right. So we have these days. Where are these days coming from? Where's all this data coming from? Where's the weather data come? Yeah, the request or the response from. And what I'm trying to look for is uh, from um, visual crossing. So visual crossing gives us this. And what gives us this date? Where's that date coming from? Yeah, the user. The user's get request. Okay. And so we're going to put them together. And this is what a lot of um, kind of data mangling or data wrangling is. You put two things together and you get a new thing. And the new thing is this, the weather of event. So what is the weather event? This is what we need. So this will be like day of event equals that. We want to know the weather of the event. And this is going to be called the output. Where's my, that would be that. And this would just call it output. Output. So I hope I explained that well enough. Oops, I lost my. We don't want to give all of these. We just want that one to put on the screen for our user. And we had some ideas. We could like get the date now and then subtract the future date. And that would probably give us the index of this array. Does that make sense? So thumbs up for that. That makes sense. Because this is today. So we get the date today, and then we could go forward. We could subtract the date of the event. We'd have to figure the date of the event, subtract the two dates, and go forward. And that would be the number. That would be the index. And then you'd say, whether whether event equals days index of day. So which I is that? That's the I, the index of the day. But how else would you get that index? Right? What I think Ty said the other one. Well, here's something. Doing something about the array. There might be a method that you could use to figure out that. And there's actually a method you can use to like not even just bypass the I and it returns the value of the object. Mm. And the idea that I was suggesting is idea 3, use a for loop and one of our patterns. And here's our pop quiz. What are some of our patterns that we learned from code.org? Anybody want to give me, yeah, reduce and filter, right? So we can look at some of those, and it's going to be very similar to those, right? So we're going to have, I guess I should stop writing in red. I guess we could, oh, okay. We can do 4. So we have the, um, so filter. I'll do an example. Filter on, only clear days, right? Anybody have an idea about how to filter only clear days? This is just an example because it's good to solve other similar ideas. This is not exactly it, but if you change it a little bit. So like we could say const clear days equals an array of clear days, and then we do the for loop. And if somebody could tell me what's going to be in the for loop, while I type this out. Um, days dot length. Everybody okay with days dot length? Those are these over here. So let's get only the days that are clear. I would do clear days dot what? Who remembers that? And like return clear days. Not yet. Oh, that condition is first, right? If something. Let's put it in here. The condition, right? So what goes over here? Days I what? Let's zoom out. And this is kind of a brain teaser that will be very helpful if you can put this over here. That length. The length is for the for loop up here. So I don't need the length. Days.I is going to be one of these, right? So it's going to start at 0. So let's this is why you have to kind of write it out, right? So instead of starting with all this text here, you see how it's kind of hard? Let's start out with, let's do this. I'm going to do this. And this will be 2025, 12, 11. I know this was yesterday, but that's okay. And this is going to be cloudy. Okay? And let's see if I can change this to be 2012. And this maybe is going to be sunny. And then maybe this is going to be partly cloudy. Do two more. Thumbs up if you remember this. Be cloudy again. And oops. Oh, come on. I lost it. And we'll do sunny. We'll do that too. So the idea is to transform this into clear days. So it's just going to be not this. This is the filter pattern. Oh, I lost sunny. Okay, right? Oh, this is our goal. Thumbs up if that makes sense. So for each day, is it what? Then push on the list. Okay, that makes sense? So I'm going to delete all these. All right. So let's index will be I equals 0. And can I how do I put them together? Is there a thing I want to group them? Is that group? No, that didn't do it. Where's my group?
I think you can
Oh, there it
highlight
is.
on it. Oh,
Okay, here it is. So I take I equals 0, right? And then what do I ask it? Is it what if I want to get it? This is only clear days. Filter. Filter only clear days. So for each day, is it, what should I say? What am I testing for here? This is the condition. If,
Yeah,
anybody
that's
have an
what I
idea?
was saying. When I said condition, I was like you were asking for the condition of the day. So when I was saying condition, I was meaning does the condition of the day equal clear or I guess sunny, but I guess
In this case, it would probably be sunny, right?
mhm.
So if it is sunny, what should we do? We put it here. Should we put it here? Maybe in the chat we can say yes or no. I equals 0. No, so we put it back. Okay. And then what do? We put I equals 1. Okay, and this is just your general for loop. Command G, huh? I'm gonna take it over here. I ask if it is sunny. Is it sunny? Mhm. Here we go. So we put that here. We actually make a copy, more or less. So it's actually just a pointer. They're both the same object, but they're two references to the same one. And this one, oh, I forgot. What I forget? This needs to be 2, right? So I can write these in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're on I equals 2. Is it sunny? Do I push or no push? You can type push or no push. No push. I'm going to put it back. It just stays there. See if I can. Is that gonna? Oh, good. Ah, what's next? Now I equals 3. This is the I for this one. And remember, what's the syntax? So it's going to be days I. That's what it is, right? Days I. So what's days I? When I equals 3, it's that one. So what do we do with that one? Is it sunny? And then what do? No push, so this goes back. Oh, gotta, come on. Good, okay. And now, oops, 4, what's the date? That's the 20, that's the 15th. That's gonna come here. Because days is I, if it is sunny. What do I do with that one? Push, right? So if it is sunny, how do I write that? Days I dot condition. What should I put? What did we say? It's a condition. Yeah, sunny. So I would have to do something like this, sunny, because it's a string. That's my condition. It's funny because I maybe should have chosen something other than condition because it's a conditional, but it's also the condition of the weather. So I hope we don't get confused about that. But sorry, conditions. It's conditions. So the conditions are clear or whatever. I guess I use clear instead of sunny. Okay, and I just made these up. Okay, so again, pop quiz, what kind of pattern was this one? What do we call this kind of pattern? This is the filter pattern. So filter pattern takes an array and returns an array. And you could use something like this pattern um, to, you know, if there's just a day, if it's just a date, you could get an array and it'd just be an array of size 1, wouldn't it? And that would be acceptable. You'd be able to get it out from that. But there's a slightly better way. It's okay. But anyway, whatever way works. Okay, so let's go back to this. What is our code here? Filter only clear days. So const clear days equals an array here. That's an array. Um, 4. Let I equals 0, right? The I starting from 0, going to go to 4 to day's length. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I plus plus, I goes up. That's this line. Give me a thumbs up for that line. I can make this a tad bigger. Okay. Now, help me out with this. What is our conditional using conditions? Days I. Remember the days I is when I pull these down. Oh, I was supposed to copy that. So let me keep that up there. What do I want to get? So it's not day's length. Day's length is that part of that for loop. How about the conditional? I'm checking something. What's that going to be? Help me out here. Yeah, conditions. So this is going to be each day. It's going to if condition. So the first one, the first time through, it'll take this one down and check. And it'll take this one down. Oop, this will take this one down and check. Oh, and it goes down here. It'll take this one down. Gosh. It'll take this one down, put it back. It'll take this one down and put it back. And I'll take this one down and put it there. Okay, so actually, what does it do? What's the code need to do? Remember, clear days is kind of like temp, so I could change it to temp again, but just know that it's clear days. So you see that? The temp is the array, push to the empty array. Yeah, the first time through, it's empty. And what am I going to push? What do you think? You have an idea? What's the code going to be in here? This is really worth kind of pondering. That it's going to be just the day's I. So what is day's I? Day's I is the object here. Is that Pojo, plain old JavaScript object, Pojo. You can see each of these is a plain old JavaScript object, just an object. And this filter is going to check each object. The right way of saying it is it's going to check the property of each object and push it onto the temporary array. And it doesn't have to be temporary, but we might return it if this is a function. Or we could just call it clear days or sunny days. Call it sunny days. You want to call it sunny days or clear days? I'm sorry for changing it so many times. Oops, I keep hitting save. Okay, there's one thing wrong with this. What should the conditional say? When do we push it? What's the rest of this? Triple equals sunny. Perfect. And I'm going to make sure it's capital sunny because I use capital sunny here. A way to get around that, if you're not sure if it's capital or lowercase, you could do like a 2 lower, lowercase. I think it's like that. And then you could do something like that. Sometimes you'll see that. But in our case, I think we know it's always going to be capital sunny. That's just a little bug you might run into. So this would get it. Well, this would get the sunny days, right? We want to do it a little bit differently. We still want to check we want to check for the date instead of the sunny day. And there's a kind of optimization you can have. You don't have to have an array. Okay, but this is your kind of a hint on how to get started. And if you're still not sure about it, please do draw out a chart with fake examples. You see, I just made some fake examples. I have no idea if it's going to be sunny. Well, probably somewhere in the world it's going to be sunny. But you just make some days, right? And simplify it down, right? Don't let this where's my if I go to my Postman and I go through the Postman data and I get the weather here. Where is the weather data? Here it is. I go there and I get all the days, and let me just give myself a lot of space here. And this can be pretty intimidating, right? So your job, well, there's our conditions. It doesn't have to be, you just make it abstract and just think of it like daytime and the conditions. Where to go? ABC. Here. Oh, it's not alphabetical, is it? So all this stuff is irrelevant to you. You don't care about the snow or anything. All you care about is there's a days array filled with objects. That's one object. There's a second object. Oops, there's a second object. Oh, it's going to be kind of warm, 72. And there's a third object. Another object, another object, another object, another object, another object. So don't let this all get too confusing to you. Are these radio stations? KNGB, KMSY, KASD, I don't know, KNEU. Oh, those are weather stations? Okay, those are just the stations. Um, those are the ones that help figure out the weather. Anyway, there's all this extra data that you don't have to worry about. So simplify it down. You see, I simplified it down to just two things that maybe are important to me. So a lot of this is just putting all the extra stuff out of your mind so you can focus on just what's important, okay? All right. Anybody want to screenshot this? I will take a picture of it. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Was this helpful to you, or do you have any questions? I really think if you have the time, going through this, copy to page. Yeah, going through all this is going to help you in the long run. This kind of coding puzzle will get your coding skills better. Let me do, I don't know, should I color code it a little bit? What color should I get this be? I'll make this be, oops, no. I wanted to select it. Any questions? I guess this will be example. So example can be what color? A nice cyan. Is that still legible? And this will be the code. Make it purple. And the code can be code. I wish I could, oh, I have to do that. I don't know hotkeys. And remember, this isn't exactly the same thing. This isn't exactly, I guess this shouldn't be up here. Yeah, this isn't exactly what's going to be what you're going to be looking for, but this is a hint or something close. Just to remind you of the patterns we used. And this will be like example data run through. So if that didn't make a lot of sense, you could run through it by yourself with some paper and a pencil. And then maybe if you'd like to, I could come into, you can meet me and we could you could go over like your diagram. And if you need somebody to have a look at it, let me put this around here. Okay, I want you to be black. There we go. So that will be the picture I take for you. Okay. Yeah, like I said, if you'd like to, um, if you do make a chart and you want to kind of explain it to me, that would actually be really helpful. This is the sort of thing that if you were to do a coding interview, um, this is the kind of thing they'd expect you to do. Do a run through example just to make sure you understand the algorithm, and then they probably want you to write code, or I mean, I wrote actual JavaScript. All right, so let me stop, and I'll meet you in the breakout rooms after this, and let's meet up at the very end again, and we're gonna maybe we can go through this, try to solve this. Let's see if you can solve this by the end. All right, stop share and stop recording.